funky things came up, but that's interesting.
Okay, we're recording.
All right, so let me share. What am I sharing?
You want to call to order?
First, let me ask, am I sharing the, are you seeing the committee agenda?
No.
Oh, you're not seeing that. Okay, so let me try to reshare. How about now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so let's call to order the Apex Public Art Committee April 19th meeting. Welcome, everyone. And our first order of business is to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting, which was March 22nd, 2021. Do I have a motion?
No motion.
Thank you, Sean. Do we have a second?
Second, Bethany.
Oh,
Thank you, Bethany. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, motion passes. So let's go to Renee for the town report.
Okay. I don't have much except that we have successfully gotten the sculpture show up, and we owe a great big thank you to the departments of the town of Apex: Parks and Rec operations, legal, risk management, planning helped us out. We had a couple hiccups towards the end of getting everything signed off, etc. There were a couple surprises. However, everybody helped us in the end to get the show done by April the 16th. And I'd like to really give a great big thanks to the town. It's not every day that the whole town gets together over a project like this. So if you see any of the parks guys out there, say thank you very much. And we never see legal, so but anyhow, just know that we really did get a lot of help from the entire town, going all the way up to administration. So anyhow, that's my report.
Thank you, Renee. Yeah, I would second that, that there's a tremendous amount of support and partnership and people, like you said, stepping in at the last moment when necessary to make it happen, which was really awesome to see. So I echo that, and thank you and David as well for all the work that you did to make it happen. Lyman Collins, who we had brought on board to help with the project, was fantastic, especially in the last month and the last week as the pieces of work were installed. So yeah, great all the way around. That's all I have from a chairperson's report, but I'll give you a little bit more on the sculpture show when we talk about old business. So public comment, again, we don't quite have the forum for that when we're not live, so maybe next time. But I will pause for a minute and ask David or Renee, is there any public comment that we need to address here that you're aware of?
None here.
Okay.
We did get one email from Emily Woody that came through to everybody. She just wanted to show us some public art and she showed us pictures. I wanted to just say that they were pretty neat. Also Sean's been talking with a woman, I think her name's Pam Stanton, about the manhole covers. So we are getting some public feedback it's going to the entire committee, but we, the out of the blue comments and that are very nice to see once we get them. We ought to have some kind of a, I don't know who the person is that needs to respond, but
We do reply to 100%. So
I'm sorry?
Yeah, we always reply 100%. So basically, yeah, I replied to one, Sean covered the other. And so, yeah, what we'll do is as they come in, it's a good one to bring up. If it's specific to a project that you're leading, just go ahead and take the lead to reply. If we're not sure, then what I'll do is I'll just kind of maybe reach out to somebody if they might know a little bit more about the answer than maybe I do or something like that, or I'll just reply. So
Okay.
yeah, a good one to bring up, Renee, but so far, yeah, we've replied to everybody, which is great. And I think, Sean, when you give the update on the utility access stuff, you might, you can maybe expand on that. I think your next phase is actually with Pam and team, so.
Let me make sure that when I responded, I only responded to the group, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, which is probably good if we're not sure what to answer, right? We'll just reply internally to the group if we're like coordinating on a response, and then one person can take it and bring it back. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, old business stuff, sculpture show. So again, it's out there. So hopefully everybody has a chance to, maybe if you haven't had a chance already, to go out and do the walk. I strongly encourage you to do it. Download AutoCast. And it's nice to hear the voiceover from the artist as you stand in front of the piece. Some of them are extremely brief, 20, 30 seconds. Some go on a little bit, a few more minutes than that, but they're all quite interesting and help with, giving a perspective on the artwork. So we do have some more. We do have some more to do, just as far as having, let's see, the juror will be out there this week and be doing an evaluation to select best in show. And we do have the survey active for People's Choice. So once we get those in, we're also looking at doing something associated with Peak Fest to announce those winners, or to do some kind of mini event associated with Peak Fest, perhaps. But that's something we just need to think about and decide how we can do that. All right. Any comments?
Yeah, I've got one. I've noticed that there's not a whole lot of people that know yet about AutoCast. It would probably be pretty helpful if somewhere on the at the Halley in the window or something like that, there was something that described it, and that maybe even a QR code so that somebody could scan that to download the app.
The posters there, Renee, if you could make sure that I thought they were going to be put in the windows of the Halley and in that front.
I think that they are.
And that they weren't.
I saw them there today. They were there today.
Okay, great. In that front panel where there's like announcements put in that little box that's on the front door, is that, or like near the front door? Do you notice if it was in there?
I saw it on the door, the glass door to the left, like where the stairwell is. I didn't really notice the front door, but I saw it when I was coming towards the building.
Okay, super. Well, that's great, because that does have a QR code on it, and it puts you right into AutoCast.
And I just picked up those flyers.
The other thing that'll help you in is that the signs, which will be installed this week for each of the pieces of art, have a little thing on there that says download AutoCast.
Oh, great.
Yeah, that'll help.
I've been watching a lot of people taking photos and that kind of stuff. It's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, you have a front row seat.
I do. I wish you guys had picked a different one to put in front of my house, but that's fine.
Oh.
No, they're all wonderful. They're great. I didn't mean to be negative, but.
Is there another location where you can find the AutoCast link?
You can just go to any place where you download an app, look up AutoCast, OTOCAST, and it'll pop right up for you.
Great.
It's a little unnerving on my watch because I'm right next to one of them all day long, so it kind of it pings me every time I get a little bit closer to it. I've been trying to shut that off. Yeah.
Nice. Any other questions on this project?
We'll add, Tom, that an appraiser is going to be out this week and doing appraising the values, so we can add it to the town's insurance. So no one bump it over in the next couple of days until we get that done, please.
Yeah. I don't think she's coming. She's just getting photos.
Well, okay. She's appraising the art this weekend. We'll get values and then we'll add it to the town's insurance policy. So we cover it there.
Excellent. All right, very good. Next one, Parklit artwork. Bethany, any update on that?
Yeah, we have done, I'm trying to remember how many we ended up having. I think it was, we cut one in half. At the last minute, we did a longer banner. I think originally we did 3 10-foot banners, and we did an additional, I think, 30-foot banner that we ended up cutting into 2 pieces to try and distribute it a little bit more around downtown. And the banners from last year were not usable. So we didn't have those, which is why we did a little bit more the second weekend that we did them. But they have been dropped off, and I'm not sure what the status is. I think that Colleen was trying to get the town maybe to hang them. She was having a hard time getting them hung. So needing volunteers. And I asked her if we needed any public art volunteers, but I haven't heard anything. So I think it's maybe been put back into the public works to be hung, but I haven't heard anything. So hopefully they will appear soon. And they all do have hashtags on them. And I have seen the lights go up along the parklet. So I think the public utilities were down there putting up string lights. So maybe that's kind of the next step, is the banners. So fingers crossed. I haven't seen them up as of today.
Okay, just let us know if there is any, volunteer help needed, maybe put it out via Slack for anybody who can make it,
Absolutely.
Needed. Okay. All right, good stuff. You have the locations selected, they know where to put them and all that type of thing? Or
yeah, I had shown Colleen kind of in pictures, but I'm honestly not sure if they really don't matter too much where they go, especially since the tables were a little different than I thought. So at this point, pretty much one per restaurant on the street is kind of the way I think it's going to end up looking. But yeah, I'm not sure if they're going to end up in the places that I had intended, but I'm just happy if they get up at this point.
Are they going to be just in the inner side, the sidewalk facing side, or the
Correct.
outside as well?
Just on the inside. That's all we can't put anything on the outside for safety reasons.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions on that? All right, next up, utility access painting with Sean.
Yeah, so it's getting warm again, so we're starting to get some traction there and starting to plan some things out. I had someone reach out to me, that was Pam Stanton that Renee mentioned, reached out to me in December or something like that about it. They do a little adopted section of the Greenway that they keep clean between a few families, and so they opted to help to paint 3 of the covers down there. So on the 24th, so basically Saturday, I'll be going out there to get started with them to set up, I guess, 3 different families to work on 3 different covers. So that's the most current news with that. And then other than that, I'm going to start little by little, just working my way back down the main stretch of the Beaver Creek Greenway, and seeing if I can get as much coverage as possible.
All right. Good stuff. Do you need any help or support either this weekend or in the future?
I don't know if I need help this weekend. I also don't know what it looks like. I don't know what too many cooks in the kitchen would look like too. With
Yeah.
I mean, not with anyone on the committee, exclusively, but if it's a bunch of committee members and a bunch of just and residents, I don't know what it would look like. If it may just be too much, feel free to swing by, and I'm sure there's always something that we could do that I don't think about, but I can't, off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything. As I start going down the main stretch of the Parkway or Greenway I was talking about, then it'd be nice to have more people helping out. But for this weekend, I don't think I need anything. I think I'm all set.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, Sean.
Of course.
Any other questions for Sean? All right. Now grants, Ewan, any new info on this topic?
I don't have anything new. I think the town was gonna work on that one grant, and they were gonna get back to us, and they haven't gotten back to us.
Yeah, that's right. We are
That's
awaiting.
my understanding. Deadline is coming up, so.
When you say the town, who you're referring to, or what department?
I don't remember who it was that was going to work on it. Tom?
I think it was Shannon. Shannon Cox was pulling some stuff together on that. I'd have to take a look to see if there was any correspondence in the interim. I'm not sure, so I would have to take a look there to see if there was something that came through.
Okay, the deadline for that is April 30th.
Okay, all right.
So. And that was the asphalt?
Asphalt art, yep. $25,000 available for, basically painting streetscape sort of stuff.
It was going to be coupled with a project that the planning department's doing around public transportation and bus stops.
Oh, right,
and
right.
So that's what was going to be part of that.
Renee, will you follow up with Shannon tomorrow and check on the status of that? If you don't mind.
I do know that Nick, my husband, who's on the transit committee, had mentioned that they were talking about it last week in their meeting. So I know it sounded like a collaboration between transit committee and our committee. So I know that was being discussed last week at their
transit
meeting.
Committee and what? I'm sorry.
And public art. Like it was going to be a collaboration. It sounded like he was excited that we would get to work together on a project regarding the bus shelters and the grant. So I know they were discussing it last week at transit.
Well, that's cool.
Okay, so we'll do some follow-up and see if we can turn that around pretty quickly, because again, like you said, the deadline's coming up. Okay. And the last item we have on old business is logo branding type of things. Sean and Ewan.
Yeah, so I think a couple weeks ago we had talked about who to reach out to. So I emailed Stacy Galloway to see just kind of give her some of the thoughts we had on the different logos that we talked about in the meeting, and I sent those over to her. She asked for some different options as well. So they wanted things with different color backgrounds, like the letter A being different colors, so black, white, grayscale, things like that. Just different sizes and some different options. So. Been kind of going back and forth looking at some stuff there. They seemed kind of partial to the logo with the paint color, like swipes behind it, not the color wheel, not like the stripe across, but the one with like just kind of random colors and stuff behind it. So I think they're kind of playing around with some different things to see what they come up with, and then I'm just waiting to hear back.
Let me ask real quick which one that is. So you see my screen right now?
I do. Not that one. Nope. That one right there.
Okay.
And so that one with some things moved around on it. So I think the colors kind of moved around a little bit left and right, just so you can see the A better. And then also getting rid of the green circle on the outside and changing the white circle and then the white A to either all black or darker or gray and things like that. And so considering what it would look like on different, t-shirts, hats, clothing, signs, posters, whatever. And so, yeah, they've been kind of tweaking with that one a little bit.
Okay.
I like it. Yeah.
Would we put something else on there like Apex Public Art or hashtag Apex Public Art or something like that?
I would lean away from it, honestly. Like, I think if we can, I don't want to put a hashtag on the logo. I don't know how that would look, but I think if we brand this somewhere where we have, we get people to realize that this is, one, it's part of Apex, and then they start to see the art and they kind of start to see this with public art and things that are happening. We can have it somewhere. And then as we have the logo itself, where it's, either if it is on a sign or it is on a hat or it is on a shirt or something, it's just the simple, clean letter like that.
Okay.
That was my thoughts. But you all
just keep us updated, Sean, as it develops, sharing in Slack and such, as things pop through. But that's good. Thank you for continuing to drive that.
Sure. Yeah, I can. I'll pop over the just the different colors of things that they were asking for.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay. Good stuff. Any other comments on logo type things? All right. Let's see. That's it for old business. Any new business anyone has that want to raise?
I have some old new business.
Okay, go for it.
Any movement on where I could put the selfie station? On a similar note, any way we can recruit some volunteers to help paint the it needs to be painted at some point before a festival. No rush, obviously, because we don't have any festivals, but
we should have one. And we have one in September, so there is actually timing for that. If we wanted to get it done for Peak Fest in September, so at least that's on the calendar. But I'm happy to help out. But I think that there was at one point, originally, I think the concept was there were students that were going to do something to help with that. But obviously we don't have that engagement right now. But
the concept for painting that I have right now is just to paint it. I think Bethany might be trying to talk to us, but not.
No, I'm talking to kids, keeping them away.
Oh, okay. No,
I'm just kidding.
No, that's fine. Sorry for that. I think the concept was just to paint the whole thing white with kills, and then other people could come and add their own pieces to it. So the painting that I'm talking about is just priming it.
Prime it. Okay.
Yep.
You would send me an email if you don't mind tomorrow with like the dimensions of it, and so I just have that in my reminder list, and I'll know what size we're dealing with, and we do some more digging. Really
okay.
Possible
that'd be
storage
great.
places, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I had a thought about that thing. I mean, after the kills, but just the actual painting of it in general. So since it was planned to be with high schoolers, and we don't really have that right now, and we're looking for something to do with sculptures and things like that. What if on some of the sides we did we put some sculptures on there, so we painted the ones that were out there, just recreated them. The reason I thought of that is because originally when you mentioned that earlier in the meeting, I was thinking I don't know what the plans are for Peak Fest or something like that, but if we did one of those paint by numbers of the top choice, I guess, of the sculpture, where the town could then come through behind and paint the paint by numbers, the sculpture that won, I guess, best in show or whatever. So then we could have a couple of these features together with one being like a paint by numbers, if I want to take the time for that again. But then also, having some of those designs on the photo or on the frame that Ewan's got.
So we do have we have 4 faces on the frame. So one set of faces we were going to give to Apex High School, one set of faces we were going to give to Friendship, one set of faces we were going to give to Thales Academy, and then the fourth set of faces we needed to find a solution for. So that's an option for that set of faces too.
Was there going to be a runner-up for the sculpture walk?
No.
There will be a People's Choice Award.
I mean, that could be a thing if you're going to get a picture in a frame with the sculpture that the people chose, maybe. I also don't know if an artist would want us to paint their, paint a version of their, sculpture, and maybe not do it as well as they did.
Right. That's an interesting idea, though. I like it. Well, as far as first things first, getting the units primed and painted, one thing is, do we still have? I know Jane was our kind of connection to the high school students at one point, and the high school, and then our teachers and such. Does anyone still have those connections? I mean, we have the names, but does anybody have that as a direct connection, or wants to take on the contacting of them and see if painting the faces of this selfie station is something that they want to do and that they can begin doing. At some point, I know they go out for summer, obviously, but then when they re-engage with school in August, that might be something they could do in the first few weeks of school, if possible.
I know some students at the high school, but I don't know of any students in the art programs at the high school.
Well, I'm saying contacting the art teachers and working with the instructors to do this in a formal way to see if they want to. Let somebody think about that, because that's a project. So if somebody's interested in doing that, coordinating it, then just let me know. Okay. Any other new business?
I've spoken with a gentleman that I met in Raleigh, an artist. He does a lot of urban art and sculpture type of stuff. He's actually coincidentally doing a presentation in Cary tonight via Zoom, I think, to their Arts Council. And he was asking me about Apex and what process he would have to go through to present any kind of commission work or what have you. He's pretty good. He's got social presence and media presence and all that kind of a thing. He's local to the area. I don't know if you guys even know about him or not. Just as luck would have it, coincidental conversation was struck up between the two of us, and he's actually, as I mentioned earlier, doing a presentation tonight in Cary. So I was just inquiring under the umbrella of new business what I could do to get back to him, to connect him, or at least give him some next steps forward.
One thing that was helpful is if he wants to provide his information to us, the type of art he does, his content.
What's that?
And then when we have our next call for artists, we can include him.
Could you repeat that, because you were breaking up? I'm sorry.
Okay, sure. If he can provide his contact information and his website, type of art he does, that type of thing, we'll include him in our directory so that the next call for artists we can send it directly to him, and he can reply to it if it's something of interest to him.
Okay, and also with the manhole covers project, who was actually going to be deploying that? I mean, was that something that someone was assigned to, or I'm sorry if that was already discussed previously. I just wanted to bring myself up to speed on that.
Yeah, Sean is coordinating that on our team.
Okay. You have people designated to do all that for you, Sean?
No, not really. So far, it's been me. Tom's helped with one or two of them. And then this will be my first time getting some community involvement here. So I mean, it's really kind of been free for all. Anyone who wants to join and help, they're more than welcome to.
Is there a total number, a minimum number, maximum number?
It's hard per cover really, because I mean, you know, we did it with 3 people, and you know, one of the people, one was kind of standing there hanging out waiting for things to dry and stuff. So I think 2 is kind of the sweet spot, really, 2 per cover. So yeah, I mean, because I'm going to be doing a bunch more, probably just solo, going out and looking at them. So if you want, I can get you involved.
Yeah, and how many covers were you planning to target?
As many as I can get my hands on, really. I mean, the target was to, you know, be realistic but ambitious about it, I guess. So, you know, I think there's only 3 now on the Greenway, but really as many as we can really get into and do.
Okay, well, keep me in the loop on that. I'd like to follow up. Great.
Cool. Yeah, we'll do. Thanks.
All right. Any other new business? All right. If nothing else, then I think that's it for our agenda. So could I have a motion to close the meeting?
I'll make a motion to close.
And a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion passes. Thank you very much for everybody for the input. And we'll be talking to you very soon. Next time we'll be hopefully in person at the Halley.